Hi, everybody. Welcome to the premiere, inaugural, first. It won't be the last because the only person who would cancel it is me. Two guys talk Cleveland sports and more. Myself, I'm Tim Shirer, and my partner here, Joey Schneider.
Hello.
We're going to be on every Tuesday at 8, and we're going to talk Cleveland sports, and we're going to try to be different than other sports talk shows in Cleveland, where we're going to talk about all three teams every week. Cavaliers, Browns, and Guardians every week, because it is possible in the off season to talk about baseball and basketball. Unlike a lot of people in this city seem to think that you can't, that you can only talk about the Browns in the offseason. I feel like you could talk about, there is interesting things you could talk about with all three franchises in the offseason. Do you agree, Joey?
I 100% agree. On top of, obviously we got Ohio State, and and something me and you were both extremely excited for is the new WNBA franchise coming to Cleveland. Well, the
Women's National Basketball Association.
The return of the WNBA to Cleveland.
Yes, and hopefully it'll be the Rockers, but we don't know yet. But so let me remind everyone that this Sentinel Sports Extra show is brought to you by CT Roofing and Power Wash, the official roofer and power wash of the Lake County Sentinel. You can call them. They do roofing, they do siding, they do decks. They power wash.
I gotta get a new deck, Tim.
Yeah, they can help you out.
I'm calling them.
What you have to do, Joey, is call 440-278-0506, and they can help you out.
As soon as spring rolls around, they're getting called. I need a new deck.
And they'll be there. So let's get on with the show. The first of the three teams we're going to talk about tonight is your Cleveland Cavaliers. Of course, I cover the team. And I'm not going to lie, it's been kind of rough. The beginning of the year, the season hasn't gone the way any of us expected, I think. But I've seen signs in the last week. Saturday or Thursday the two games against Charlotte and New Orleans. Okay, they better win those. But what encouraged me was how they played on Christmas Day. If that was against any other team besides the Knicks and probably the Celtics, I think the Cavs win that game because the officials would not have, it was terrible. The replays were horrible, and it was a swing just enough for the Knicks to win the game. Cavs played really well that game, but then they went to Houston and they looked like complete garbage. And Kenny Atkinson chewed them out after the game. And in the media, said, he pulled no punches. He ripped them apart. And I thought that was really good. And then last night they go to San Antonio and they beat the Spurs. 24-8 the Spurs were. I think they were 12-4 at home or 12-3 at home, something like that. And they ended up beating them. And they did what the Cavs did yesterday was what I have been saying all year they needed to do. They played defense. They played strong defense. And I was really happy for Jared Allen because he held Victor Wembanyama in check, and he was the leading scorer in the game in the 113-101 win by the Cavs. And that was good. And Lonzo Ball did not play in the game, and I am really okay with that. I think Craig Porter needs to play more, and Lonzo Ball needs to take his seat on the bench. Because as I've said in Cavs pre- and post-game reports, I think that trade is turning out to be a bad trade. So that's my thought. What do you think? What have you seen right now with the Cavs, and what's your opinion, Joey? You got 17 seconds.
I think that.
All right, Joey's done. No, go on.
That cough just cost me 2 seconds. I think that
So what this is, hold on real quick, Joey, before you get going. What this is a show of two coughing hosts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So get ready for that, because I always cough, and Joey right now has a cold. So, let's get to it, Joey. What do you think?
I think coming into this season, it was obviously a different feel. Ty Jerome meant a lot to this team last year, and doesn't matter what team he's on now. But there was a different. It just felt like there was a different type of cohesion with this team last year. Coming into this year, they had
Isaac Okoro meant a lot to me.
Isaac Okoro, that was my daughter's favorite player. She loved Isaac Okoro. But I think that a lot of injuries to start the season, and usually the Cavs tend to end the year with a lot of injuries. So a lot of injuries beginning of the season. You're starting to get everyone come back healthy, and I just think you're going to start seeing this team play a lot better. And I don't know what the timeline is. I thought it was February or March to get Max Strus back.
No, it should be January.
Is it January?
I'm thinking he's a few weeks away.
Okay. I just think that there's other play. Strus is going to help out a lot, and
his energy.
They need that spark off the bench. It just seemed to me, every team does. It's not just the Cavs. That's just something in the NBA. It's why you have a 6th Man of the Year award. Someone that comes off the bench and can spark the team. And the Cavs are, they're getting healthy. They're playing tougher. You could see it. You could see Garland is looking a lot better. Jared Allen, like you said, looked really good. Mobley was hurt for a little bit. Everything takes time. But I think that this team's going to get into the playoffs, and everyone thought they were going to be a top 4 seed. It might not happen this year, but I just think that makes them more dangerous.
I think they will. I think they will end up a top 4 seed.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh, I definitely do. But what I also think, I don't be stunned if either Strus or Hunter get traded.
Yeah.
I think Hunter's almost gone guaranteed. I really do.
Well, last year of his contract, so.
Yeah, and I just don't think that he hasn't fit with this team. I just don't think he has. He didn't provide the spark last year. They thought he was a no-show in the playoffs. So, I think, him, he could be gone. I wouldn't be stunned if they traded Strus.
I wouldn't be stunned.
I don't think they trade both of them.
Do you think that they may try to get off Alonzo?
Oh, I don't know. He's an expiring contract.
Yeah,
one of my friends who's very knowledgeable, who's been covering this team for 32 years, he doesn't think they'll trade Ball. But I would not be stunned. I'm not saying it's going to happen, because I'm not one that puts crap out there and hope it sticks. But I wouldn't be stunned if they traded Darius Garland. I would not be shocked.
I don't know if they can, because they're on the second apron of the.
Yeah, they have to get it's very.
I know it
would be very hard for them to do.
I know it can be done, but there's other teams that have to get in the mix,
but they can't. Also, they can't. They're not going to be able to sign guys who get released if they made more than $14 million.
Right.
That's another thing of the second apron.
Right.
Plus the draft pick things that, I thought I saw they cannot trade a draft pick. I could be wrong, but if I read this right, they cannot trade a first round pick until like a 2031 pick or a 2032.
Right, and I think that's from the Donovan Mitchell trade because they gave up.
It's because of the apron.
Oh, is it because of the apron?
Yeah. They're screwed because of the apron. And let me tell you something. I wouldn't fault Dan Hughes. I think the guy's done a great job, but I wouldn't fault Dan Hughes if after the season, if this doesn't end well, with them at least getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. If this doesn't end well, I would not fault Dan Hughes at all for firing Colby Altman, because he convinced him that we can do this. Go over the cap, go into that second apron, and I'll get this done. And if it doesn't at least come close to getting done, I can't see Dan Hughes or Dan Hughes, former Rockers coach Dan Hughes. I can't see Dan Gilbert sticking with him. Look, Dan Gilbert likes success, and especially when he's invested the kind of money he's invested in this team. Also, the fines are unbelievable for being a second apron team, and also he can't be happy. And Chris Fedor brought this up first from Cleveland.com. Along with my friend Brian, who writes for the AP. I feel like they're the two premier Cavs beat writers at this time. My friend Bob Finan, he's been doing it a long time too, and Sam Amigo. I don't want to slight anybody. Bob and Sam sit right in front of me, and they're great guys. But getting back to what I was saying, Chris Fedor said that, look at it this way. If you're Dan Gilbert, I don't think he's been to any games yet this year. But he sits at home in Detroit and watches it on TV, and what does he hear? He hears booing. He hears his customers booing his team. And they're his customers. Okay, they are his customers.
Right, yeah.
And Dan Gilbert is a genius businessman. And he wants to make his customers happy. And he sees them not being happy. They're not happy right now. I've heard more booing this year than, I'm telling you, even when I was a season ticket holder and they weren't great, I never heard the booing I hear this year. There's a lot of it. So,
I think the fans come to expect a certain level of not just winning, but competitiveness, especially when you see the way that this team has been constructed. And
there it is, competitiveness.
And they've been, and the fans have been told, the core four. It's like a word here in Cleveland, with the Cavs, the core four. Allen, Mitchell, Garland, and Mobley. So you're trying to build around that, and if it's not working, then there's something wrong.
Yeah,
there's something fundamentally wrong.
You mentioned that, like, competitiveness.
Well, yeah,
they haven't looked competitive a bunch of times this year.
Right,
they have not. Yeah, and against terrible teams. I forget what it was. They beat the Wizards by the last time they played them. It was like 7 points. They beat the Wizards by 7 points.
Well,
are you kidding me?
It's also beyond the competitiveness. It's like I said, it's, fans have been being told the core four for so long, but you're seeing these other teams who are just consistently getting better. And now whether it's a draft pick who is turning into a star or a trade that was made, you see teams that that have rebuilt Whereas the Cavs can't really rebuild. You're sticking with the same guys, hoping that they're gonna make it. They're gonna get further than they got. And I think the talent is there, but like I said, so a guy like Ty Jerome.
Yeah, I don't miss Ty Jerome. So
well,
I think I don't think so. Plus, you know what? He wouldn't be playing for them anyway because he's hurt again.
Right, but what I'm saying is it's not just the player. It's him, Okoro. They were locker room guys.
I think Okoro was more than him.
That was a fun locker room.
But I also think they couldn't keep him. They couldn't keep him.
No, God.
They'd be in the third or fourth apron if they kept him. If that's not even a thing, but I made it up. But also, where was Ty Jerome in the playoffs?
No, I agree with that, but I'm talking.
The energy. I understand the energy. I'm a huge person on chemistry.
Yeah,
in sports.
I'm not looking at the playoffs just yet. I'm just talking about 32 games in the season, 34.
What are we in now? They're 18 and 16, 34.
34. So yeah, like look at 34 games this year, 34 games last year. There's a big discrepancy in not just competitiveness, but
they shut me up yesterday.
Wins. Right.
I predicted they'd go 0-4 this week on my Cavs weekly report yesterday, so they shut me up already. But
I will say I think they're going to make a big run here pretty soon.
Well, I think I do too. That's a season-changing win last night.
Yeah.
So let's move on to I'm not I shouldn't be ashamed to admit it. People are proud to admit their favorite team is the Browns. Let's move on to the Guardians, my favorite team.
My favorite
Cleveland team.
My favorite Cleveland team as well.
Yeah. So, they've signed a lot of bullpen guys this offseason. They re-signed Austin Hedges right after the season. Mm-hmm. They signed Pedro Avila yesterday that wasn't yesterday. I think it was 2 days ago. To a 1-year deal. It's a split deal. I never heard of this before, but I suppose they existed. No one just ever said it. Where if he gets sent down, he makes less. But so they signed him to a 1-year deal, which I think is a great move because think of how many innings he ate in 2024.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't understand why they got rid of him last year. The bullpen was good anyway, so I guess there's no real reason to question it. He's back now. So what do you – I think that was good. You?
Oh, yeah. I think it was a great move, and I think that I think they're just really shoring up that bullpen, and if they can keep, if they can start with the momentum that they finished last year from their starters and from their bullpen, they're going to have a they could potential, and I like I like the word potential. They have the potential to have a very, very good pitching rotation and bullpen.
Yeah. When the Twins were good in the middle 2000s, when Joe Mauer was there, they had a good lineup, but their strength was their bullpen.
Yeah.
And when the Twins fell apart, after they gave Joe Mauer the big extension, the Twins fell apart because they they released or traded 5 relief pitchers. They traded their whole bullpen. And that was it. They weren't competitive for several years after that. So this bullpen, people might get mad. Oh, they signed on a bullpen guy. Why aren't they signing a corner outfielder? Well, because if you have a crappy bullpen and that corner outfielder that you want to sign so bad doesn't work out, then you're really screwed, But that gets to what we've talked about, Joey, is the platooning. I am so sick of the platooning. You can tell me, yeah, Stephen Vogt won Manager of the Year 2 years in a row. He did. And I get that. And I'm not saying Stephen Vogt's a bad manager, but the platooning has to end. They are never going to develop these young hitters if they platoon them. DeLauder and Valera need to play every day in center field and in right field. Every day.
Yeah.
And the DH first base, Kefas and Manzardo. Every day. Every single day. I mean, the problem is you got David Fry in there. And I don't have anything against David Fry, but David Fry, I'm sorry. I don't want to sound mean. He's average. He's an average major leaguer.
I like David. I mean, if I'm being honest, I really like David Fry. If there's situations, there's situations that come up where you're gonna want to put someone in DH, a late game situation. I'm okay with Fry being in there.
Yeah,
but not every single game.
No,
and part of me is like, okay, like I trust in the Guardians because every time that I'm livid at whatever point in the season, at the end they're either right there in it or they win the division. They're always a winning team, unlike some other team in Cleveland. But you can't sit here and say that that you don't have your faith. However, and I'm going to go off here for a second, and me and you have talked about this. I hate with everything in my being that they got rid of John Kenzie Noel.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to be this year, might not even be next year, but at some point that guy's going to be on a team and he's going to be hitting 40 homers a year.
And he's going to, yeah, we've said that I don't know. Like, I just think that's the development piece with the platooning.
Right.
They screwed him up last year.
Yep.
They screwed him up. Absolutely screwed him up. And Stephen Vogt likes to talk about, I understand this position because well, no, you obviously don't understand it. Young guys have to play. Especially young power hitters.
Oh my God.
And they did him bad. They did him a bad, it was not right. And I just feel like they're never going to develop anybody unless they play every day. DeLauder needs to be in center field every day. And Valera needs to be in right field every day. But they also have Nolan Jones, who they're obsessed with.
No.
I guess he's a good clubhouse guy. He's good with the players. He gets along, well with the players. He's a kind of a glue guy in that clubhouse. Austin Hedges is more of a go-between between the players and the coaches, from what I understand. So that could be why they kept Jones. But okay, if he's that glue guy, well, then let him play as much as you have Austin Hedges play.
But the thing is he productive?
He's not.
That's right, and that's
why they traded for him.
When I hear glue guy, you know what instantly pops into my head? Mike Napoli.
Yeah,
that's
but he hit for power.
That's what I'm saying is he was a guy who he loved the team. The team loved him. The city party at Napoli's, T-shirts everywhere. Everyone loved Mike Napoli.
Yeah.
And he hit very well, for them. He was a good player, but he was that glue guy. He was loved by the players. He was loved by the fans, and he was productive on the field.
They also knew when to let him go.
That is true. I agree with that. But when I think of a glue guy, I think of like Mike Napoli, like Jose Ramirez is Jose. I mean, he's kind of I kind of feel like Jose is Cleveland.
Yeah.
Like that is
Cleveland is my house. That's what.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if people can say LeBron, I'd say Jose.
Now he don't want to leave, so
And
LeBron left. But I don't want to get into that debate about LeBron.
No, but I'm just saying that
LeBron did something nobody else done in my lifetime in Cleveland. He helped bring a championship, so I can't talk crap about him. A lot of people I'm not. No, I know you're not. No, I understand what you're saying.
When I think Cleveland sports, I think Jose Ramirez. I don't think. I mean, I think LeBron, but I think Jose first.
Yeah. So I honestly think they'll win more games than last year if they don't pick up any hitters, if they don't platoon, if they play these young guys every day. They win. Yeah. They win 95 games, I think. I really believe it.
But, I mean, if DeLauder continues to develop and Valera hits to his potential,
they stay healthy,
if Manzardo keeps going up, I mean, this team is. Yeah, I mean, you could have 1 through 6, almost 1 through 7, be just very dangerous hitters.
There's good power, And Bo Naylor seemed to fix whatever it was. I can't exactly remember what they said. It's something with his high leg kick. He fixed it, and in September he was very productive.
Yeah,
I still believe in Bo Naylor. He had me doubting him a little last year, but I still believe in Bo.
I still believe in Bo as well. I think that, and I think not just as a catcher, but as a hitter. And I don't know. I mean, this team is it's intriguing because they're so young, and if it all pans out, they're going to be a really, really good team for a long time.
Yeah.
And even if they struggle with the hitting, that if their pitching is on, they're still going to be in close games that they're going to take. So I don't think 95 is even. I think 95 is very, very obtainable.
A lot of people want to say that they should go after Bo Bichette, and I don't know if they have inquired. I don't know, and I wouldn't be against that. I love Bo Bichette. I think he's a really good major leaguer.
Yeah.
Power hitting shortstop. You can't. That's something it would be great to have. But let's be honest. This organization is obsessed with platooning, right?
Yeah.
Does Bo Bichette honestly want to sign with this organization that might platoon him?
I mean, it depends on how much you guys value days off. If they want to play.
I don't think he wants 3 days off a week.
Right. But I don't think you're going to platoon Bo Bichette either. I think that's.
I'm not sure with this organization right now. The only two guys that don't platoon in this lineup are Quan and Ramirez. So I guess Bichette wouldn't be one of them. But does he want to take that risk? But he probably wants more years than they want to give to.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how old he is now.
Same age as Guerrero.
Like around
maybe 30, a year older.
30, 31, something like that.
Yeah, because they were all together. They all played on Lansing. Guerrero, Bichette, Conine, and Kevin Biggio. They all played on Lansing at the same time.
Okay.
And what I found was all their dads were major leaguers. I couldn't stand Dante Bichette. Guerrero, I didn't know anything about because, you really didn't. He was great, but he didn't talk a lot, so I don't know what kind of person he was. Jeff Conine, he seemed like a good guy, played for Florida. But Craig Biggio, beginning of his career, I was kind of still an Astros fan. And Craig Biggio is a great person from everything I've ever heard. His son was not a nice person. Caven was an asshole. Yeah. He was of the four. He was the least friendly of the four. Bo Bichette, I remember going out in the locker room thinking, oh shit, he's gonna be like, he would probably be like his dad. He was so nice. He was so nice. And we talked to Vlad Guerrero Jr., and he was great too.
Oh, yeah.
Conine was very nice too. Biggio thought he invented Major League Baseball. So we talked to him the first night. And I remember, my partner and I decided on the way up that no matter what he did the next two games, we were not talking to him. So, but Dante Bichette, I'd love it if he signed with the Guardians, but I just don't think it'll happen.
You and Bo.
Bo.
Yeah.
Yes. No, not Dante. Oh no. Oh.
Dan Hughes and Dante Bichette.
Oh my God, I'm screwing this all up, aren't I? Who else can I?
Next
thing I'm going to call Shedeur Sanders, Brian Sipe.
Oh my God! If you mix those two up, that's getting clipped and put somewhere. I always wanted to ask you, who is your? You can only pick one player. Who is your favorite non-Guardians / Indians player of all time?
Son of a gun. Can I pick a pitcher and a hitter?
All right, I'll let you pick a pitcher and a hitter.
Okay, pitcher Nolan Ryan. I mean, that's
not
a good one. Close. I mean, I almost get emotional talking about him. I just love that guy. I thought he was. I think he's the greatest pitcher I ever saw pitch. He's amazing. And player, goodness gracious. Oh gosh, players oh my gosh, there have been so many. I mean, I've been watching baseball 50 years.
It's a good question.
It is a good question. There's just guys, I think there's a lot of them.
You get one name.
One comes in my head, and I cried the day he announced he was retiring. It was Memorial Day. He just was going to retire because he didn't have it anymore. And I never call him by just his first and last name. I call him what they called him when he hit his 500th home run. Michael Jack Schmidt.
Oh.
I love Michael Jack Schmidt. Man, that guy, he played the game the right way. He was a power hitter. And when I was a kid, I was this skinny little kid who couldn't hit the ball out of the infield. I love those power hitters. And, yeah, Mike Schmidt, that guy is wow, was he something,
You know me, and you know that I'm always a power guy, but my favorite player that not of Guardian or Indians is Tony Gwynn.
Okay, Tony Gwynn, yeah.
I remember
that's not bad. He was okay.
I mean, wasn't his career average 340 or something?
I'm not exactly sure, but that guy was amazing.
There's never been anyone who he could put the ball wherever he wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen anyone in the history of baseball be just not that they can't do it.
I think it was he
consistently just put it wherever he wanted to.
He was the modern Ted Williams. And Ted Williams always said that Tony Gwynn, he loved watching Tony Gwynn play, and he would argue with people when people would say, well, he doesn't hit home runs, he doesn't hit for power. And Ted Williams used to always say, if he wanted to hit for power, he could hit for power.
The things that the way that guy hit, not just his average and how long he did it, but just if you are able to place a ball, place a ball wherever you want in the field, that's terrifying to it.
Greg Allen, who played for the Captains and then played with the Indians a little bit, and then he got traded. He we would talk to him all the time, and we would ask him. He'd tell us stories about Tony Gwynn because he played for Tony Gwynn at San Diego State.
Oh, okay.
So it was pretty cool listening to him talk. And I believe he played for the Captains the year that Tony Gwynn passed away. So that was a rough, it was rough for him. But Tony Gwynn was something. He was just a great player. And, he's very much like Louis Arise. Who's he with now?
I don't even know.
I don't even know who he's with anymore. I think he's a free agent. I did see that was a rumor for a bit too, that the Guardians would go after him.
Yeah,
I would be against
that. He's had a couple of down, or was it last year? I know for sure.
Yeah, he only hit like 310.
Did he hit 310 last year?
I'm not sure what he hit, Joey, but I can bet you he hit better than like 220.
I thought he had a worse year than that. That must be. Maybe, I might be thinking of someone else. But
Louis. But no, he had 292.
Okay. That's still pretty good.
He was with San Diego, but
okay,
292. His career average is 317. Think of that in this lineup. What a boost to that lineup.
Oh yeah.
You put Louis Arise at second base every day, and you move Rocchio to short. Rocchio's going to hit for power this year too. You watch.
I think
he's going to hit for power. I'd say 15 to 20. I'm going to say. But we better move on.
Yeah, we got to move on.
We better move on because I want to be equal here. We actually ran a little over with that, but that's okay.
First show.
Yeah, it's the Browns next. Let's talk about the Browns. It was a good win over the Steelers. Anytime you beat the Steelers, it's a good win. I might not be a Browns fan anymore, but I do always root for them to beat the Steelers and, of course, the Ravens. But, the Steelers were pathetic, trying to stop Myles Garrett and not worrying about the win. It would be so great, even though I can't stand the Ravens, it would be so great if the Ravens made them pay this week and beat them and the Steelers didn't make the playoffs.
Honestly, I think any other year I would root for the Steelers to beat the Ravens, but just my absolute I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan.
No, me either.
And I think that is why it's almost like I wish they could both somehow lose.
Yeah.
But one of them has to win.
It was such an arrogant approach. We don't have to win this game. We'll win next week.
And I don't want to. You know what? And I had to. I saw on social media everyone. Well, no Browns fans, but every Steelers fans and some others. Saying, "Oh, Myles Garrett's arrogant." And watch the game. Aaron Rodgers did not want to give up the sack record. He was more worried about giving up that record than winning the game.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett did not say anything wrong. Everything he said was 100% the truth.
It's just the whole Steelers fan base is arrogant, so they shouldn't say a word. When's the last time they won a Super Bowl? It's been a while.
I don't know, but they somehow always seem to always get in the playoff, even though they haven't won in 8 years or something like that. Still,
it's been a long time.
Yeah, but it's still a very well-run organization, and
until
the Browns get there, there's no Browns fans that can really be arrogant either. But
no,
Myles Garrett was. I mean, I watched that game like 3 times, and I'm just looking. There was just so many times where it's like, okay, if he would have taken the sack, it wouldn't have been as bad as throwing a pass behind you and
I can't watch a game.
I mean, I do if I'm looking at, needs for the draft. And that's the other thing too. Then you got some Browns fans who are like, oh, well, we dropped, we went from the 3rd pick to the 6th.
Oh, God. No, not fans. Not fans, Joey. It's not fans that start this crap.
I mean,
it's the damn media.
I'd rather see, well, yeah, but.
And that's why the fans say it, because the media says this stupid shit. Look, you want to win games. You want to win games.
Right. I would
Look,
rather see
Tommy has listened to this his entire life, and he would say to me, don't you want the Buccaneers to lose? No, I never want them to lose. I want the Buccaneers to have the 32nd pick in the draft every single year.
Right.
Why? Well, what a loser mentality.
Even a season like this, I want to see the Browns go out and beat the brakes off of the Bengals. I know that the Bengals are getting healthy and they're going to play everyone probably. I want to see the Browns finish the season strong. Finish with 2 wins in a row. That's what I want to see. I don't. Yeah. You're guess what? You're still getting 2 first-round picks.
Exactly.
You're gonna get a player.
Speaking of draft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before we talk about this year's, let's talk about someone from last year's draft. Carson Schweschinger. He is 3 tackles away from setting the Browns record for tackles, not the rookie record. 3 tackles away from setting the all-time Browns record for tackles in a season. Okay? Anybody that wants Andrew Berry fired, you might want to hold off on that because he had a good draft this year. Schweschinger. Graham is clogging the middle. I don't want to hear any of these dumb people. He doesn't get sacks. He doesn't get tackles. Well, his stats are comparable to Warren Sapp's rookie year.
Yeah.
How did that go? I think he's in Canton, right? Yeah.
Warren Sapp the player, not the person, but yeah.
And then you got the person, not good.
But Mason Graham has done he's done a phenomenal job.
You got Quinshawn Junkins, who he'll be back. He'll be okay.
Terrible what happened to him, but I mean
Harold Fannin Jr.
Harold Fannin, phenomenal.
Where did that come from? You know what I mean?
I mean, he had the most receiving yards and I don't care if it's MAC or whatever, but he had the most receiving yards in Division I football last year.
Yeah. And that's all that matters. Look, and I love the fact that he wears 44. He wears 44. He's a tight end. He wears 40. All the other ones wear in the 80s. He wears 44.
He was, yeah. Well, it's like you go look at the Cardinals. Trey McBride.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd he go? He went to Colorado State. You take and Fannin is not just a good receiving tight end. He's a good blocking tight end. Okay. He plays fullback. I think that's why he wears 44.
So he can be eligible to play fullback. Yeah.
Right. I mean, he could do, he could almost do it all. I mean, this was Barry's best draft. And I mean, in all honesty, if just like maybe 2 players and even a guy, I'll tell you a guy who I like, who I think they've underutilized. And I believe he was an undrafted is Isaiah Bond. Because,
I think that's a great pickup too.
I mean,
if these guys, Junkins and Bond, stay out of trouble, then those are great signings. A great draft pick and a great signing. So, he hit well this year, Barry. You got to give him another draft. See if he can do it again.
I feel like you got to give him another one. But yeah,
if he does it again, I'm going to say this because I'm sick of hearing Browns fans say that the NFC South is the worst division in football. If he has another good draft, the Browns could win the division in the actual worst division in football this year. The win by the Atlanta Falcons last night guaranteed the NFC South to have more wins than the AFC North. So if Andrew Berry has another good draft, the Browns could have a chance of 9-8 next year, winning the worst division in football.
I think it's possible. Obviously there's some moves that need to be made, and you got to hit on the draft picks again, but you got to start.
Got to hit on 4 draft picks, 4 or 5 again. And they have to be, in my mind, 2 offensive linemen and 2 receivers.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's and for myself and Tommy Shirer, we are going to. I know Tommy already has his I think is it his first mock done?
Oh, did I say you were doing one, Joey? No, I'm just joking.
I mean, I have every year.
Well, you did the dueling mock drafts last year, you and Tommy, right?
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, you did.
We did 3 different ones. I've already.
We'll see if we can get Tommy on here next week.
Yeah, I got 30. I got scouting reports on 30 players so far. I'm gonna end up probably doing about 150 like I did last year.
This could be past Tommy's bedtime, though. He does go to sleep pretty early. Yeah.
Well, we can. I mean, we can always.
That's how he's always been. I never had to tell him to go to sleep when he was a kid.
But I just want to say, stay tuned to the Lake County Sentinel and Sentinel Sports, because we'll be having our mock drafts up here after the season. Do you have a microphone, Joey? Because I'm having a little trouble hearing you at times. So I have a new mic being sent to me. I'm using my phone right now. Okay. I'm getting 2 dots most of the time. A couple of times I've gotten 1. But so we were talking about the draft, and I said I think they need to draft first a receiver, then an offensive lineman with those 2 first-round picks, and then basically repeat that again. Maybe go with the offensive lineman first in the second round, and then get a receiver. But you can even get a receiver later, like Tez Johnson. Didn't Tampa Bay signed him as a free agent, right? I'm pretty sure they did. A late pick. I think he was a late pick. I think there's some good receivers I like.
Yeah.
I think that there's going to be I'm just going to throw a couple of names like Casey Conception from Texas A&M and Boston from Washington. Those might be second round guys that the Browns can pick up. I think that's how you say it.
Is he any relation to Onyx or Davy Concepcion?
I think it is Concepcion.
Oh, is it? Okay. Because they played Major League Baseball.
I'm not 100% on
Concepcion,
how to pronounce his last name.
It could be. When you were saying it, I was thinking maybe that's what it is. But when I was a kid, I butchered. Oh my God! Like I said his name right. Though Davy Concepcion's name right, simply because the broadcast, they were on TV all the time, and I heard them say it. But there were other names like, oh my God,
that is fun to say.
Abanda Jesus, who played for the Cubs. Yeah, I pronounced his name, Ivan DeJesus. So, but talking about the draft, saying they need to draft linemen and receivers. Yeah. No quarterback. We're done with that, right? Cleveland should be done with that. The conversation's over. You go next year with Shadur Sanders as the starter and Dylan Gabriel as your backup, and I don't give a crap who the third string guy is. I don't care who he is. It doesn't matter. It could be Bailey Zappi. It could be Don Strock. He's still alive. It could be him.
Because they can't get rid of that contract.
And Carl Pagel's still alive. I could bring him back to be the third guy. Mike Pagel. Carl was his brother who played for the Indians. But look, it's over. You got your quarterback now. Is it a split fan base over the quarterback? Yeah, but who gives a shit what the fan base thinks? They've let the fan base decide things for them before, and it fails every time.
I agree. I get whoever the quarterback is. I don't care who who is starting. I see good things in Sanders. I see things he's got to work on. Whoever QB1 is next year, I don't know, but I could tell you, don't draft him this year. Get some protection on that offensive line. Give him, whoever it is, some time to throw and put some weapons around him to throw to. You do that, and you're giving yourself a better chance to win.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't watch Cam Robinson and Levinson hold and jump off sides anymore. I mean, they got to get some better tackles in there.
Thing too. Yeah, that's.
But speaking,
I've suffered with that. I suffered with that with Tampa. Luke Gettig jumps off sides whenever they score.
What I was going to say is, speaking of the NFC South. Now we if anyone has ever watched anything on the Sentinel, they know that you are not a Browns fan. You are a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
Oh,
you even look at your name, TV Bucks, Tim.
Yeah, that pretty much tells it right there.
And they got a game coming up to get.
The thing is I have opted out of watching it. I never thought that I wouldn't want to watch them, but they have made it so hard to watch them the last 10 weeks. They're 2-8 their last 10 games. They were 5-1. They were the number 1 seed in the NFC. They had the second best record in the NFL. The Colts were 6-0. And now they're 7-9, fighting for the under 500 NFC South division title, which is pathetic. And I'm going to go cover a basketball game on Saturday. And I'll get alerts on my phone. And I'm hoping that I don't get alerts on my phone and throw my phone at the gym wall. But it could happen. I broke one of my coasters the other day. My Guardians coaster that Kayla, Tommy's fiance, bought me. Probably 5 years ago. I broke that when I slammed it down on the table too hard and it shattered, when I don't even know what the play was that the Buccaneers screwed up on, but it was enough. I had enough. It's like, I can't believe I haven't broke my glass coffee table yet. I'm really kind of surprised I haven't, because it's been hard to watch. So I'm not going to be miserable. I decided I'm not going to be miserable this week, and I'm going to go watch high school basketball. But let's talk about the WNBA for just a couple minutes here. For the WNBA, the Cleveland will get a team back in 2028. If you see behind me, there we go, right there. My Cleveland Rockers, 1998 Eastern Conference title champion banner. They're coming back in 2028. I don't know if they'll be the Rockers. I hope they are. But this lockout, strike by the players, I just think it's a bad move. I wrote this out, so I'm going to say it so I don't forget it and say it wrong. Well, I think the women in the league should be paid more. I think they're becoming entitled to an extent. I know things have changed, and they have changed for the good for women as far as the WNBA and women's sports in general. But I feel that these women are acting like they are suffering with the money they're making now. And they are not suffering. They should be paid more, no doubt about it. But this league is not at the level of the NBA money making.
No.
And it's not at the level of any of the established pro leagues yet. Not to say it won't be someday, but it's not yet. And they need to slow it a little here before they screw it up and go on strike, don't have a season, and then people don't care anymore. People don't care anymore. It's over. They don't care. That's what could happen. And So I think that we need to do something about that.
I agree with you. I do. I think that I think there could be a little more wiggle room between what the WNBA is offering and the players. I don't think it can be any too much more, but I think that there is a little bit more there should be more wiggle room. I think that obviously the WNBA is in the best position it's been in since the beginning.
Yeah.
And the group we were talking before the show, I almost bought a Caitlin Clark hoodie the other day with the Caitlin Clark Nike logo. I mean, it's cool. And
yeah,
the other thing is for the men, for the NBA, there was no other place to play than the NBA. Now you have all these women's leagues that are popping up that are paying a ton of money to have players play in, and the WNBA can't match that. Now these other leagues can't match the prestige of the WNBA.
They won't last these leagues.
Well, I don't
think they will.
It depends. I mean, is Caitlin
but I just think the WNBA players need to understand they're not there yet.
No, they're not there yet. But you do look at players we've talked, and you talk about players from the early years of the WNBA, and I think the WNBA has evolved so much faster than any other sport. I just think women's basketball has just evolved so rapidly. Where you have players like Asia Wilson, who is just Caitlin Clark obviously coming in and being and having Angel Reese kind of
we're gonna have to cut it a little here because we're getting low. But I know what you're saying. What I think is, are there at least 10 players in the WNBA that should be probably making $1 million a year? Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
And are there, should they all be making at least 100 or 150,000 a year? Yeah, they should be. And I think the league can pay them that.
I think I think the last deal was like the minimum was 250 and the max was $1 million.
Oh, okay. Well, because when I saw the offer, I thought the players got to take this, and then they rejected it. So that's why I'm starting to think they're a little entitled. And one of the guys I covered the Rockers with, he agrees. So, but real quick, let's get to Ohio State. You got 30 seconds, Joey, and I'm going to go 30 then. Go.
Real quick, Miami is giving Ohio State way too much bulletin board material. I 100% believe in bulletin board material. I think this is not going to be a close game. You can say anything you want about it. I think Ohio State wins by 3 touchdowns.
Okay. Yeah, and that was 16 seconds, Joey. How about that? I'm going to go quick, too. I'm going to say Ohio State scores 45. And they blow them out. So NFL news real quick. I see Stephon Diggs is in trouble. But
shocker.
His guilt has not been proven, so we don't know. But I did see during the show, I got an alert, Joey, that the Cowboys released his brother.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah. I saw that earlier. Yeah.
So that's interesting. But we were going to talk more about the Buccaneers, but you know what? I'm glad we're not. Because they make me sick. They make me sick.
Next week.
Bowles must go. If the Browns fire Stefanski, I hope Tampa Bay hires him. I'd take him in a second.
I think
they'd have 10 wins if he was the coach. But we're down to about the last 30 seconds here. So I think we will see you. Hopefully we'll see everybody next week. I think this show was good. We talked about a lot of good Cleveland stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So until next week, I'm Tim Shirer.
I'm Joe Schneider.
And we'll see you in 1 week. Have a good night, everybody.